No, they all have leg tags. They all do. Or no, maybe the boy doesn't have a leg tag.
I like this one.
Okay, leg tag. Leg tag.
That's a duck.
Leg tag. Leg tag.
Not leg tag? Or leg
Yes,
tag?
they all have leg tags.
I want this one.
We're
That one is so soft.
I went to the P.O. box this morning and picked up our order of ducks and geese from Murray McMurray Hatchery. We are actually brooding these in our living room for the time being, not for a long time, but for a few days, because we really want to handle these geese a lot and make them friendly towards us so we don't have a nightmare to deal with later on.
It's mean sometimes.
They can be, yeah. But these are going to be nice geese.
Very nice geese. I love.
What's up, guys? I just woke up from like a glorious nap. So today is our wedding anniversary, and Jeremiah's gift to me was an afternoon full of sleep. It was totally awesome. But I do need to go outside because it's getting late in the evening. We got to do our live tonight, and I had a couple things I wanted to get done, and I'm going to take you guys with me. So something here that I was going to show you. This is one of the things I've got to do. I'm going to go finish planting my in-ground garden out back. I ordered these Cherokee Tan pumpkin seeds from Danny and Wanda over at Deep South Homestead, and they're really precious. They sent me some extra seeds and a super sweet card. But I also ordered this, which is Danny's sweet potato manual. Danny's like the boss of growing sweet potatoes. He does such an awesome job. And I wanted to get this print manual, so I went on their Etsy and ordered it earlier this week. And it's just like a basic manual with photos showing how best to cultivate like sweet potato slips and plant them and all about them. And I really like it because it has holes in it, so I can stick this in my binder. I have just like a big fat binder where I kind of gather up gardening information, just because I like to have things in print where they're easily accessible. So really cool. And thank you, Danny and Wanda, for the extra seeds and this really precious card. And I'm gonna go put these in my garden. First, however, I'm going to get my kids to come outside with me. Hey, Toby and Ezra. Y'all wanna go outside?
What are you doing? What are we gonna?
I gotta go check on Fred and make a video.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll go outside a lot.
Alright, so I'm just gonna show y'all my messy end of the table here. This was what happens when we have a really busy weekend. I'm taking this out with me. We'll grab this. We're about to go out there. Look at this beautiful gift. I am just always amazed at the incredible talent of our viewers and the generosity. This means so much to me. Thank you so much. And then also this beautiful cat wind chime. These were gifts in remembrance of Kit and George. So thank you so much for these. And then also here I've got my Jerusalem artichokes to get planted. Now I just got to build that little bed. Like this. Maya keeps cutting one rose for me to keep on the table. So much sweetness right now on the table and downstairs. Got lots of fun mail lately. You ready to go out?
Yeah.
I left my water bottle out here earlier. So I did this today. I got one row of my tomatoes planted. They always look so puny the day that they're planted because most of the plant goes underground. I like to plant them really deeply, so they always look like much and nothing. I've got 2 more rows that'll be planted out here, 2 more of these long beds in the big raised bed garden. And then in the high tunnel, there will be a few long rows of tomatoes out there. So I still got a lot of space to put in tomatoes. Because I have so much space this year, I'm kind of trying out some different spacing. Usually I do 18 or so inches apart, and in this bed this time I did more like 20, almost 24 inches apart. So there are 25 plants in this 48-foot row, and we'll see how they do. This half of the garden sure is looking lively. All this, the cool weather crops over here. so big and lush. My hope is that when I'm pulling out all of these root crops and harvesting them and pulling out any of the like kales and brassicas and stuff that went to seed, it'll be just in time for me to go ahead and put in my peppers and eggplants and things that like warmer weather. Look at this beauty. My beautiful rose that I've been showing off so much because I am totally in love with it. I was trying to figure out what the variety was because you guys were asking and I just wanted to know for myself, and when I put it in I couldn't remember what it was. So I posted some pictures and asked for some advice, and we all speculated and compared to other photos, and then I just had like a light bulb moment this morning and went back on my phone to last year. I planted these roses almost a year ago. It was a year ago this week that I planted them, and they are called Arbor Rose Tangerine Skies is what they are, and they're available other places. I bought them at Lowe's, but I took a picture of the tag, and that is such an invaluable piece of advice. If you are planting anything in your garden, take photos of your tags. It's good to have reference. Like, I took a photo of the tag and I took a photo of the roses right after I planted them, and I'm serious, like, do that. Like today I have a photo of that row of tomatoes. It's very encouraging because here in a few weeks when the garden, I come down here and I'm like really excited and patiently awaiting things to start fruiting and stuff. I'll be like, oh, it's just hardly growing, but I'll be able to look at my pictures and see how it's tripled in size in the last few weeks. We live in a time where usually we have our phones nearby. Most people have phones that have the capacity to take photos. Not everybody, but even then, get a little cheap camera and take pictures of your garden. It is very, very rewarding, and it's such a great way to keep a journal and a record that you'll continue to have. I get asked a lot how I keep up and like how I do a garden journal, and this is my garden journal. Like what you guys are watching on a regular basis, this is my garden journal, and I take photos and videos. So when I plant things, I'll have my cell phone and I'll get my cell phone out and I'll just make a video, and I'll walk down the row and verbally say this is this, this is that, and just kind of tell myself what it is. And for me, that helps me remember. A lot of you also ask me if I remember these things, like when I go through and I spout things off, like what varieties are, when they were planted, and the answer is yes, I do remember most of that. I'm telling you without double checking. Occasionally I have to double check something like the rose, and usually I tell you when I have to double check it because I like being able to remember it. But I think that partially that comes from making the verbal reminders. I think that kind of helps me remember it, to say it out loud and then to watch that video back whenever I need to double check something in the beginning, and eventually I just remember what's where. So I'm going to put the photo up of these guys when they were planted 1 year ago. They were just little rose bushes that I got from the hardware store, and look at them now. I can't believe it, but I think I might actually get some heads of lettuce this year. I wasn't sure it got so warm so fast. Another thing that I have been doing as well is bringing my portrait camera down to the garden and out on the farm, taking pictures of the plants and the animals and my kids. There have been different times that I've done better at that. Of course, I used to take photos all the time because I had a photography business and kind of burned out on it. And whenever I closed the business to move out here, basically I did birth photography, and I was too far out in the country to really do that with ease because you have to be on call. And then also the seasons of our life changed, and it was very difficult for me to close that chapter. But I still love to take photos, and I've tried a few times to really gear myself up to like start taking more, but I don't know, I'm not making any big promises or statements right now. I just want to take more pictures. The tomato plants are hardening off out here, and the greenhouse looks so empty. I kind of had in my mind, and I don't know, hopefully this is something that I could actually do, but I kind of had in my mind that if I do continue to take photos throughout this season, that it would be really cool to be able to like put together a calendar or something like that by the end of the year. That's just what I keep telling myself, and whenever I think, oh, I'm gonna run outside, and I'll be like, take the camera, and I kind of have that little internal struggle, you know, where you're like, oh, I don't really want to, it's heavy or whatever, I don't want to keep up with it. And I've been like, no, you'll want to, you'll get good stuff for your calendar. And so it's kind of what I'm holding out in front of myself as motivation. Hey, let's go back here and see what Maya's doing. Well, this is neat.
Thanks. My beak area, that's beaky combined. I didn't come up with that, but I am using it.
Your beak area. So you're gonna let me paint this?
Well, I'm committed to the pastel hive colors. I really think it looks good. Like, actually like it, and bees use flowers to make honey, so we'll just roll with it. But I think we should paint it white, like you talked about, make it like a canvas, and then you can do like a big floral mural.
That would be really pretty.
Behind it.
Where'd your brothers go?
They went back there.
They went back over there?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Alright, so we need to teach all of our friends on YouTube about that black soil up there. What is it called again?
Turdilizer.
Tell them.
Turdilizer.
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 That's good. That's really good.
You can't say it without smiling though, can you?
So you put Turdilizer on your garden to help it grow. Because obviously it's Turdilizer because it has poop in it. So
And it smells so good.
Ben actually loves the smell of it, right? I think it smells really good. That's because you're a gardener.
Yeah, I am, because and Asher hates this.
Asher hates the smell of it, I know. I think it smells good too though. It smells ripe. All right, y'all ready to see the progress over here? Check it out. So Jeremiah went pretty intense on these beds. They are beautiful. They're a little deeper than our other beds. And we're actually having more soil dropped off tomorrow. Topsoil to fill like 2/3, and then more of the dark, rich, composty type super soil to go on top, because these are pretty deep. But you can see here the like rough edge of the cedar, which he's ripped down. These are just absolutely gorgeous. I have been sitting right there, you see it? There's my sitting stump. I've been sitting here just like staring at this space and wrapping my head around what all I'm gonna plant in here. This is so much space. This is so much garden, and I'm very thrilled. I'm very excited. I'm super excited to get it planted. There's nothing quite like planting in brand new garden beds with fresh soil that's just been moved in. Like, it's so easy, and you know, the first bit there's just not a lot to weed. Like, it just does really, really well. So I'm super excited about that. That's like totally awesome. A little bit like, oh my goodness, I don't have enough started plants to plant all of the space that I have. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of things from seed out here, because just with all of this expansion, I didn't start enough plants for these things. And I'm really trying to think of what I can plant that I can feasibly put up. So one of the things that I know that I'm gonna grow in this greenhouse is I'm gonna grow paprika peppers, cayenne peppers, and chili peppers, because those can be dehydrated pretty simply, and I can grind those up. So I'm gonna really try to grow like quite a lot of our seasonings. For this year we use a lot of that stuff, and with this much space I can easily grow all we need for the year. What are you doing? You just sitting and thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah. You look pretty handsome. Can I take your picture?
Yeah, I guess so.
Is it easily washed out?
Oh.
Because there was a small portion that like had a lot of water run through.
Yeah. We're just gonna have to see what comes up. I planted all of this and then it stormed really bad. I keep putting the cardboard back. It keeps blowing out of the walkways. I need to put something on top of it. I actually have some seeds in my pocket I wanted to stick in the ground real quick. There he is. He's up by the barn.
He's just
having some dinner. Hey, Mabel. Hey, Fred. Cannot get over how big he is compared to her. So big. Hey, lady. I just want to see this little guy.
Because he's a nice goat, right?
He's not gonna hurt you, baby. Bear, back up. Back up. You're scaring her.
Well, Mabel's a really nice goat, and I like her shiny brown eyes.
Yeah.
They're really shiny, right?
Yeah, they are really shiny.
They kind of look a lot like his mom.
I think he looks a lot like his mom. He's a cutie. Oh, look at him.
I want to pet him.
He looks like he's smiling.
Let her come out too. She'll come out with us.
His foot is so soft.
His whole body is soft.
I love his little
He's right
freckles.
here.
And I'm so glad I see him.
He's right here.
Hey, little guy. Hey. Hey, Mommy, he's right here.
He's scared.
She wants her baby. Yeah,
Okay,
let's go ahead and
Fred.
give him
That's
back
enough
to
people
Mommy.
time. Go see Mommy. Go see Mommy.
Back up, Bear. Hey, love. You got him back? Is that better? Fred is our last baby goat for this month, but Winona should be bred to kid towards the end of May. And then we put some of our La Manchas in with Ross Poldark after he got here. So that would be like end of May, early June baby. So we'll just see. I'm not 100% whether they took or not. We didn't leave them in there for a really long time, but we left them each in there for a couple of days. So maybe there'll be some more babies on the farm next month.
Dad, know
Goat
what we're
snacks.
doing? And you'll feed. No, but also feed the branch with the hay. It's a gourmet meal for them. Gourmet meal. It's a gourmet meal for them. So put extra hay and extra that. A gourmet meal. Yeah. I need another gourmet meal. Dad, I need another branch. Oh, he's getting better versions of the branch.
Here, you gotta do a 3-course meal. Hay, oak leaves, and cedar leaves.
Wait, can you give me more oak leaves? And can you give me... I'm sure I need two big...
Yeah, Fred has a really
Mama,
cute
you
face.
had enough. Mama still needs to get fat for milking.
You're gonna come steal this treat from this baby. Hey. Hey, Glen Coco. Hey, little ninja. Hey, ninja. Look how cute he is.
Fattest goat I've ever seen. I've seen one fatter.
I think she just looks so wide because she's so stumpy, because sometimes they get wide when they are pregnant and she's not. And sometimes they get wide when they're wormy and she's not that either. I think she's just full of hay. We call that a food baby. You got a food baby, Katie girl? It's okay.
Ninja is adorable.
I can relate.
I don't think Ninja knows.
Well, if that's not the cutest thing, I just don't know what it is. Little baby goat snack smorgasbord.
I can't reach up. It's videoing.
It's way too bright. Let's turn. Okay, there we go. That's good. All right, y'all ready? Hey, well, that's about it for us today, guys. We actually have to go in and do our live, so we'll have to cut this vlog off.
Get in, Dad.
But what do we say? Say thank you for hanging out with us today.
We bless you until next time. We bless, hey! That's the way for everyone to say, okay?
Look at Ben's little head just trying so
He's like, I'm
hard.
trying to be in the shot.
All right, y'all ready? 1, 2, 3.
We bless you until next time.